Hello everybody, welcome. I'm No02 and thank you for watching this video. This is the Waterfront, Mission 4 of Act-6 and our Act-6 guide walkthrough nonsense here. Please be sure to check the timestamps here. For a lot of these missions, other than the fact that they all have, like, you know, a run-back event at the end of them, not a tremendous amount going on. Some nice little nuances and tricks, right? Look for the timestamp that talks about the red barrel spawns for the sniper kills and things like that, which are cheeky things that we can take advantage of. Not really cheeky, it's a little secret thing that you may not know about. Now, these cultists that showed up, the Slimer, the Shredder, these are fixed. Those are automatic. They trigger every single time in all of the difficulties when you sort of cross this threshold right here. Those cultists will spawn automatically. Now in no hope mode, pretty much all of these two bathroom doors and this snack bar area will typically be alarmed. Keep in mind always that sort of alarm door trick where if you are in the middle of a horde event and enemies are spawning around those doors and behind the doors, they can in fact break them down. And of course, if you want to loot all of this, this is a great example of how you can stack horde events together. The game can only fit so many enemies at a time. If it had infinite enemies, it would just, the game would crash. Right? So there's a limit somewhere on how many enemies can be available on the map at any one time. So if you want to loot this area, you can shoot this alarm door, and then immediately shoot these two alarm doors, and for the most part you take what it would be 3 horde events and you basically turn them into one. The horde event timer can only be so long. It just resets to whatever its max duration is. The amount of enemies that spawns is the same because the game can only support so many enemies at a time. If you want to loot this area, feel free to shoot all 3 doors. Basically turn 3 horde events into one. You have the maximum opportunity to loot it. Now, when you cross the threshold over here, from here to the arena, we can take the tram snipers will spawn. Typically, I handle them back over here. I think it's important to note, though, that this whole section where we're standing, if you don't want to trigger these alarm doors, but you need to take a horde fight, a safe room, or this corner right here, great places to hold out. You want to note that you can peek sort of over the top. You just have a nice little head glitch against these snipers. Get your head glitch going on. You can see these snipers just by putting your back against this wall over here, and you can pepper them, take cover really easily, and go back and forth. This is a mission where you really begin to feel your weapon's overall accuracy. Not like our crosshair accuracy. Quite literally, when you shoot, does the bullet go exactly where your crosshair is? Weapons have an innate number for that. You can really feel, if you're running the RPK, shooting these snipers is a real pain in the butt. You don't see it in recruit mode, but in no hope mode, there are duster traps everywhere, hidden behind bodies. They're pretty much always fixed in no hope mode, it looks like. I'll take that. They're almost always in the same locations, and there's a lot more, the higher difficulties. And now when it comes to this mission, this little goopy area that we're going into, the spawning pools, this is the hardest part of the mission. Note that there's going to be a cultist horde trigger right around here. And not only does it give us a corruption card that triggers a horde event timer that is now in the top right corner being blocked by my camera, but also too, as you can see, these cultists that spawn immediately are fixed. It's automatic.
Well, what do you know?
You can climb top of this rock and stuff like that, this, that, and the other. But I highly recommend that once we're here, we need to move with speed, because, again, there's not a whole lot of great areas to hold out. Everything's sort of crappy for us. Goop everywhere. All of these spawning pool stuff, it's all potential spawn points. But I do like holding out right here. Hold out at the broken bridge. Picking stuff up, and stop picking stuff up. You can sort of just chill here. For the most part, nothing climbs up behind you. I've never seen anything climb up.
Look,
You sort of got your line of sight right here. I also want to note that look at all this like walkable space. This to me like visually feels like you shouldn't be able to go in here, but you can. You sort of just cut skirt the corner here. So if there are birds on this bench or
over there,
we're not really worried about dusters, right? But I actually recommend this cutting this corner and hugging the wall here. And also too keep in mind that before you get to another decent holdout area, which is the red wagon. If something bad happens, feel free to fall back through the forest right here to your bridge. Watch out for enemies. Enemies can spawn. We've learned in Act-6 that enemies can spawn in bushes. Be aware of that.
Friendly fire.
And now for the most part, there is a trigger that I will be showing you that will remove the Cultist Horde timer event. We would like to get there as quickly as possible.
What do you think
This
of this?
area just like feels so like designed to slow us down. I recommend jumping down. Now, wow, never hit. Hitting these guys, kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. M4 feels fairly accurate.
leftover.
I would recommend that if you don't have a weapon or you're really struggling to hit these guys or what.
There's like a pile of worms over
You see that barrel in there?
one.
Right? What I'm trying to say is, dealing with these guys can be a real pain in the butt sometimes, but there is actually
What's that?
an opportunity for an explosive barrel to spawn inside the train cars. And you see, we got one here. It was actually perfect. It was like the perfect example. Oh no, there it is. There's opportunity for red barrels to spawn inside of those train cars. So if you are struggling trying to hit those shots, because those snipers got their own little headshot glitch going on, if you're struggling on killing those snipers, if you just go hard left, you can eventually see them in there, as I demonstrated by shooting them. And then of course, once we're here,
Never know when I might need this. Better than Bill.
perhaps the best holdout spot is this red wagon. Enemies climb up here or run up the slide, so it's like a crappy. It's a decent enough holdout spot for us. Then we move. Typically, we don't go inside of this building.
I never knew so many people lived around here.
Keep in mind that you can. One thing that you can do is you can go inside the building and shoot your gun. Enemies just on the other side of that wall, you can aggro towards you.
You can turn that into something.
Right. But a lot of times too, I actually just sort of end up going outside on the left more often because we just do the same thing. We get over here, we get all of the line of sight. Not particularly like what place to hold out a lot of times. We get all the line of sight. We can shoot all the enemies. We pull the aggro. We can try to move on as quickly as possible because here is the trigger that ends our Cultist Horde event timer here. You can sort of see, we'll demonstrate. It'll get rid of me here. Top right. Oh, it's gone. It's gone, right? So this green gate is the trigger that removes the Cultist time Horde event. So this is our goal to get to as quickly as possible once we drop down into the spawning area.
We gotta lower the dam to get across. Part these waters like Noah.
But we're sleepers.
Something smells bad.
Toolkit room here. I will say, we'll see if we can. Oh, we don't have.
I'm so sorry. Are you
Not,
alright?
none of them are hurt. We're in recruit mode. I would want to demonstrate that. Sometimes the bots
Never say no to some
don't
first
like
day.
to use this medicine cabinet.
There, a gas can.
They're not going to use it now because they're all
It's your
full
lucky
health. But I've
day,
had
HR.
instances where bots were injured and were missing lives, and they refuse to use that medicine cabinet. Keep that in mind. Also, too, we don't like the last two missions. We don't really need to farm bot lives here necessarily because we're going to be running. We're not going to stop and pick them up. So if a bot only has one life and they go down, that's no big deal. They serve their job. They serve their purpose. They can worry about their lives in the next mission. Now, when it comes to doing this event, I recommend sort of just like hanging out in this area roughly. You want to pay attention to the spillway, like the spillway bridge. I don't know what it's called, the bridge coming down here, because we can just jump on top of it. Keep in mind, this is an infinite Horde event now. This Horde event will not stop until we completed the mission. So I usually just like to stand here. Super crazy long line of sight. Notice the red barrel up there again. As this bridge gets close to finishing, a sniper will spawn, as you can see. You can blow them up. Getting this red barrel is good RNG. The reason why I said before that like sometimes these red barrels don't spawn is because of no hope mode. Sometimes you don't get them. And now we're on the move. Don't stop the bot there. The meat shields. Worry about it. I recommend, I mean obviously if you're taking the hive, go for it. I recommend just skipping that hut and going all the way to here. If at this point you have to decide for yourself, you want to hang out for a second, let the bots catch up to you, or not. But keep in mind that the longer you linger, the more likely it is that you're going to get trapped here, because in no hope mode, it's pretty much a constant stream of enemies. And I actually think that you can beat those snipers spawning if you just go straight through. I want to note too, I had to shoot this door. The difference between locked doors and open doors is actually visual. Hopefully one of these doors, this door is open. It's got no lock above it. This door doesn't have a lock. Bummer. I should have demonstrated that. You can tell when a door is locked or unlocked. These doors are unlocked. The doors that are locked will have just a literal lock physically above the handle. The nice little detail to visually inform you if the door is locked or not. So a lot of times if you're approaching these huts, feel free to start shooting the door as you get close to it. Now once we're inside here, the difficult part, especially because we've stopped to talk and slow down and stuff like that, is actually going to be that as we approach the tram door,
the Ridden are going to keep changing.
Cultists will spawn. There are 3 forced Cultist Spawn events here, right, that we've already seen 2 of. As we approach this door, there's a shredder right there on the immediate left, and the shredder comes out the back door. Sort of an annoying predicament to be in, right? So a lot of times you sort of like just have to bait them outside a little bit. If you're super fast, you can go hard right, and then over here, this guy's chasing you this way, this guy's chasing you this way, and you sort of just like skirt your way around them a little bit. Which I think we might be. I'll be trying to demonstrate that in the no-rope playthrough, because lingering outside waiting for those shredders to exit the building can be really sketchy, especially if you don't have any pipe bombs left. Or if you're not running pipe bombs at all or something like that, right? Keep a note that like one of those 2 shredders, great target to hit with a bait jar. Because I mean, that does the same thing as pulling all the aggro off of you, you know, the pipe bomb. Now that we're here, the only thing left to do is to shoot snipers. These snipers are janky. Sometimes these snipers don't give a crap about you. They will ignore you, they'll like never shoot at you. They just won't do anything. And sometimes they like insta-shoot you. Basically it's always just those 2 snipers show up really early on, and then the sniper over here. That's it. So left and then right, and we're good to go. We're over friend for fun. And that is the Waterfront. Questions, concerns, problems, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the future.